Hey,
Football.
let's go. What is up, everybody? I am Tvshka, and I'm getting happy because I'm eating. But my man Josh, I am stress eating, bro.
Uh, you know,
Tell him why. Tell him why.
so are all Jets fans. So Aaron Rodgers, first drop back to pass. We think he probably tore his Achilles, and with his age, who knows? They might call it career. Now,
Finito.
Garrett Wilson finally just caught a touchdown. So for all those Garrett Wilson owners out there, congratulations! Zach Wilson finally knew how to complete a pass. That's going there. So they're getting ready to tie it up on that. And then there's been some big time injuries, and so happened that it also hit Tushka's team. So that's why he's stress eating.
Yep.
But it's name of the game. We wish that everybody stayed healthy, but it's football, and these things unfortunately do happen. And they happen to the players that you rely on the most. And sometimes it turns your season into a tailspin, and you can try, but it sometimes just doesn't. You can't get out of the players being hurt. You just can't do that.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to stop drafting running backs. I think that's my issue.
Maybe
Brees Hall last year.
Brees Hall went off tonight.
Yeah. Quite a bit of people did, but not everybody, man. I mean, this welcome everybody. This is a fantasy fuck around. We can bleep that in post, right? Oh no, we're live. Okay,
never mind.
But no, hey, what's up, guys? I'm Tvshka. This is Josh Mabry, but welcome to Rev Sports, but really more so the fantasy fuck around. We actually have a league, so we're going to be following our league. Kind of chronicalizing it. Is that the term? Oh my god, I don't know.
Something like that.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing the chronic with Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
But we're gonna be just kind of tracking it throughout the year, while at the same time talking about the relevant players. If you look at the rundown up top, we got the top 10, got league scores. We got a little wild card, which I'm excited to see what you have, Josh, because I didn't think of a wild card for this week. Unfortunately, I had a pretty busy day.
I've got a wild card. Just a weird trend I saw this. Just a weird trend that I saw this weekend.
I like to get weird. I like to get weird, man.
It was a weird trend. Kind of doing like the whatever they do from think about it, and it's just like one of those weird things. I've got something prepared for that. And then unfortunately there were some big injuries that happened over the week.
I honestly feel like we just need to move the rundown where we just start off with injuries. Because last week, all we did was just watch the game. We didn't even have games playing other than the Chiefs, and there was still so many injuries that impacted people. And for some reason, they were all tight ends, right?
Yeah.
Which hence, oh crap! I'm so sorry, I didn't change the overlay. But hence why on the thumbnail you're going to see it where it says "got paid but didn't play," and boy. That was quite a bit. I mean, defense players, tight ends, offensive players. Now you're looking at Aaron Rodgers, which interestingly enough, I think it's in the contract. It's actually like per game. Like there's a little bit of a caveat of if he plays under or over a certain amount of games. That
70%.
Is it 70%? Okay, yeah. So if he plays over 70%, then what Green Bay has to.
The Packers get the pick. But if he's out for the year, it's still the Jets' pick. So he's still screwing Green Bay even on the sidelines.
Yeah. And Green Bay did pretty good. I mean, there was I feel like maybe what happened, I mean, COVID was weird. But maybe like just this summer, maybe we just went into the upside down again. Because the teams we thought were just going to come out and smash mouth my Chiefs. Nope, kind of fell flat. The Bengals, nope, they're back to being the Bungles. Who else do we have that actually just fell flat team wise?
The Chargers defense. They fell flat. The Seahawks, they stunk up the joint against the Rams. They thought they were gonna tank and whatnot for Caleb Williams or whatnot, and they come out gangbusters. Held Seahawks to 6 total yards, and it was garbage time. They got those 6 total yards to begin with at the end of the second half. So it's just some weird things, but that's why we love the NFL is because the parity is there. And it's not like, when you watch a slate, love college football, but there's only certain games you're like, all right, I can't wait to watch that one. Whereas other ones, it's like this team is just way better. Whereas in the NFL, every game, it don't matter because it's just such a small, just like difference between each team on how they can be, better and stuff like that. So that's why the NFL is pretty crazy on that. Yeah. So ready to get the show on the road, go over the bad news, good news, great news, sore news, whatever you want to call it, but it's going to be fun.
Let's do it, man. Can you hear my chewing, by the way?
A little bit.
A little bit? Okay. I will mute future bites. I apologize. It's been a hectic evening. Had a VFW meeting. Really good meeting. We had a lot of people show up, which means a lot of people wanted to talk.
Oh.
And deviate us from actually voting on things so we could get done. So I could leave at a normal hour and make it back. But hey, you know what? That's life, and it's beautiful. So, man, top 10, baby. Let's do it. 10. We don't got a big transition just yet, but we'll get there eventually. Yeah, we're rolling at the bottom ticker, but take it away, Josh. What do we got, man?
All right, so top 10, we have our top 10 quarterback performances of the week. We've got Tua Tagovailoa with 28.14. A dude threw for over 200 yards just in the first half alone. Ended up with a gentleman's 466, a couple of touchdowns. That's where you got him up top. Mac Jones.
And didn't get injured.
No. Well, knock on the wood. We got to knock on wood for Tua. For that. And then Mac Jones had a really solid game with 25.14. Anthony Richardson. Basically what we thought he was going to be. Now, whether or not when we go against other teams and they have film on him or whatnot, but he does kind of scare me a little bit because he runs like Cam Newton, and we can see like he's good for like the first 2 or 3 years, but those hits add up. That's kind of what Trevor Lawrence told him after the game. But so far, so good on that. Jordan Love, the Packers can't keep getting away with this. I'm tired of it. I'm like that Jesse from Breaking Bad meme. Like, you can't keep giving away with. Like, I'm tired of the Packers going from one great quarterback to another great quarterback, and then he looks habitable. And they did this without their best player. Now, as far as in Christian Watson, but I will say that the Bears are just terrible. That's pretty much what that problem is. Deshaun Watson,
the Bears.
All jokes aside, he did end up with 21.66. He had a pretty solid game there against the Bengals. Had a nice. He was okay, but then he had that nice rushing touchdown, which helped him. And then Patrick Mahomes. Hey, guess what? He's still in the top 10. Kind of crazy, not the top 5, but we don't have basically. And when your receivers don't like to catch the ball, and they apparently run the other team's payroll. He still fought his way to get.
Now, don't forget Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert came in at 20.92.
Sorry. Justin Herbert right before Patrick Mahomes. It was pretty much a shootout there with the Chargers and Dolphins. So
it really was. If you have players on the Chargers and the Dolphins, former Commissioner Haygood, congratulations, Your Honor.
Yeah, he's we'll get to his score because he's definitely high point. And then you have so Patrick Mahomes at 20.54, Trevor Lawrence at 20.22. He's pretty much coming out exactly like I think. Calvin Ridley, who knew he was good at football when he doesn't bet on it. And then Kirk Cousins, 17.46, which is surprising. He's snuck in the top 10. But I guess the first half when he was just throwing the ball to Justin Jefferson every other play, just added it up. And then Brock Purdy, another solid performance. San Francisco is scary good.
Thank you, Brock Purdy, for being on my bench.
But yeah, so the top 10. As far as who will stay there and who I just think it's a flash in the pan. I really don't know. I typically can sit there and say
I would say Richardson.
Yeah,
he looked very suspect with a lot of those throws. And again, he's a rookie. He's going to make mistakes. Right. Peyton Manning threw an insane amount of interceptions his first year. But I just think, like you said, there's no tape on him right now. They're starting to get it. He'll get found out. Patrick Mahomes. I mean, I joked about it. I'm not going to get rid of this tattoo, baby. I'm not going to get rid of it. But they'll right the ship. It was all the drop balls, so it really wasn't necessarily his fault. But yeah, I think Mac Jones will drop, and I think we'll start seeing, and this is just my own self-indulgence. Lamar Jackson can get back up there.
Yeah.
And as much as I hate people in orange, Joe Burrow, he's going to be back up there too. I mean, we're just going to see back to the same 5 to 8 that are consistently there. With all these other incredible talents just jumping in and out.
Right. And I'm interested to see if Justin Fields can right the ship and get back to being. I mean, if anything, they're just going to say, "Screw it, let him just do what he needs to do." He seemed to. They try to make him something he's not. When I was watching, because I've got him in a couple of leagues, and he tried to earn what he could, and he was fine. I think he was top 12, top 15, so it wasn't but it wasn't in this where you drafted him. You weren't getting the production out where you drafted him for. But I expect him to, and I'm just interested to see what Jordan Love does going forward. Matt LaFleur called a great game, but
really did,
and we'll get into it. Aaron Jones kind of tweaked a little hammy. He didn't do anything bad, but he tweaked a little hammy, and he was a big part of that offense, as we can see. Moving into the running backs,
you did such an incredible transition, but I do want to jump back to Justin Fields and Jordan Love, kind of the newbies. Okay. But for Fields, like you said, they're trying to make him something he's not right now. And there was a point last year that they did the same thing.
Yep.
They kind of started this way. They let him run, and then he just knocked it out the park. And then whenever it came close to playoff time, they started trying to make him pass again, trying to pull back on the run. So you think they're going to open it back up? Did they have any changes, by the way? Sorry. Did they have any changes in coaches, like offensive coach, quarterback coach, anything of that nature?
No, it's just they were 1-16 last year.
Yeah. So that could possibly be the pattern for them. It's just they start light and then they end light as far as the run heavy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry. Back to your incredible transition to Aaron Jones. That was beautiful. Luckily we got it recorded.
Yeah. So Aaron Jones went off basically. If he caught a screen ball, it was going for 50. Whether it was a touchdown or not, he was going for 50 if he caught a screen ball. That was a great call by Matt LaFleur on that 4th and 2 to get him on that nice little inside cut to open him up there with a nice, I think it was like a 30-40 yarder touchdown there. But he ended up with 26.7, just a couple of decimals ahead of one Austin Eckler, which both of them are kind of dealing with. They just come out today. Of course, we get into the injury report, but Austin Eckler is kind of banged up as well. Christian McCaffrey, hey, guess what? He's still good at football. He had another one thing. Yeah, and so Christian McCaffrey with 25.9. Tyler Algier, I do not like the Falcons. You have Bijan Robinson. Why is Tyler Algier even getting the ball? And they're like, well, we're gonna gradually get him into it. I was like, you gradually got into it when you took him in the top 10. So as a person who actually Bijan is still in the top 10, but as a Bijan owner, I want that Tyler Algier number. And it should be the vice versa.
But come on, bud. It's the Falcons. How many yards did they run for as a team? Like 400?
Yeah, and they threw
300?
They like 18 times. That was it.
Yeah. We knew this was going to happen. That's what happened last year. You had Cordell Patterson, and then whatever second or third that was just knocking it out of the park as far as the running back.
It was Algier. He set the
well, yeah, Algier, but then there was another one that would kind of jump in and out every now and then and kind of steal some. But but they got Bijan. It'll balance out. Because you got the fresh legs, and with Algier and then Patterson, like it'll balance out by the end of the year. They'll get in the rhythm. But but with that though, I'm kind of a little more excited for their offense now.
Yeah,
Ritter didn't look too bad, right?
They're favored to win their division. That's what the people are picking them, and they're playing. They literally threw the ball 18 times and beat Carolina by 2 scores. So. Yeah. It's not like they're going to stop doing that. There's no reason for them to. So for everybody that owns Atlanta receiver, congratulations, you played yourself. Because I said that way before. I was like, Kyle Pitts, no. Drake London, no. He's fun. His name's fun to say, but
but Pitts did look good. I mean, he's such an incredible talent. We know that.
They love incredible talents that they never throw the ball to. On there. Kind of moving on. Tony Pollard, 22.2. Yep. That dude's going to be there. Obviously, as a Dallas fan, but he's
but this next guy,
Travis Etienne, 21.
I think he's there to stay. I think he's there to stay.
The only thing that stinks is Tank Bigsby. It will take some of his goal line stuff. Like you just noticed, he did score from like 20, 30 out, what we call like the work done. If you don't know what work done is, he basically was the first running back to where if he scored between the 20s, that's the only way he was going to get in the end zone. Because once they got in the red zone, they were going to give it to a big back like a Michael Brenner Turner or something like that. So I always call it the work done back.
And that was also whenever they had fullbacks. I mean, fullbacks are not a thing. The Kansas City Chiefs did not even put a fullback on their team this year.
No.
because it's not a thing anymore. It's
fullbacks are a dying breed. There's no point. Yeah. Bijan Robinson, like I alluded to earlier, with 20.3, had one of the nicest touchdown runs. If you ever go back, that's a really nice highlight of him juking the guy and then just bowling through 3 guys
so
to get in the end zone. Roschon Johnson, 17.5. So that's a solid number there. I did like Roschon. What's up with these Texas running backs? 1, 2, right?
Bijan and
Roschon Johnson. Right before him is right after him is Kyron Williams, 17.4. For the Cameron Akers owners, this ain't a good sign.
Yeah.
Because they put him in like, okay, maybe gets goal line. No, they basically just gave him the ball. Cam did have an okay game, but I didn't like Cam going into. Unfortunately, the dude tore his Achilles about 2 years ago. I think it was their Super Bowl year. And it's just tough to come back from that to be what you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
So is Kyron Williams going to stay there? I don't know, but that is a trend if I'm a Cam Akers owner that I'm not happy about.
Cam was suspect even before the season.
Correct.
You know, I mean, a lot of people were calling him basically like, kind of like a pit pick where it was a pitfall. But maybe it's because Kyron was just showing that much in practice and in training camp that people saw the writing on the wall. I don't know though. I don't think he's going to be up there that much, but I think this next guy is definitely going to be getting a lot more as he deserves, and that he definitely can eat. He's a chubby boy.
Yeah, chubby boy. Old Nick Chubb. Old reliable. He ain't going to catch a lot of balls, but he's going to run a lot of yards. He's basically it for him. He will be in the top 10. Just I'm going to say Nick Chubb a lot this year. Maybe once or twice it won't happen, but pretty much 90% of the time, Nick Chubb is going to be in the top 10. Obviously barring injury. But at 16.7. So, Tvshka,
I'm so sorry, bud. I didn't even switch over to the running backs.
I know. I noticed that. I was just going.
Tell me.
Okay.
Or click it yourself. God dang, dude.
I saw it. I was just going with the show, man. I'm just going with the show.
You are the show. Come on.
Okay.
I told you this, Captain.
Anyway, well, thank you, but no, it's 2-man. So let's see.
Not tonight. It's 1.5.
All right,
1.5 men.
That's all right. So
we don't have Charlie Sheen.
The Roschon Johnson, we'll see. Kyron Williams, we'll see. But other than that, Algier might, the way that Atlanta's running, he might be a good, solid, pickup. If he's not owned in any of your leagues, might look into doing that. I think for the first half of the season, he's a good player to have based on him getting goal line carries and whatnot. But going forward, I think Bijan's I think just don't want to put so much on Bijan and just wear out that workhorse at the beginning of the season. As a fantasy owner, freaking wear him out. I don't care, especially as a friend that owns him. But that's just me being selfish and not looking out for the understandable why the team is doing what they're doing. And Travis Etienne, I mean, I like the Jags altogether. Aaron Jones,
they look really good.
As long the way they're using him, it's like, where has that been? Because AJ Dillon looks like the AJ Dillon that I thought it was going to be, which is fine. But Aaron Jones is that dude. And with Aaron Rodgers not there anymore, people are like, they finally get to use the playbook. And you don't have to basically say Aaron wants to do this. And it takes away from Aaron Jones possibly, even though Aaron Rodgers really liked Aaron Jones when he played with him. But that's nor here nor there. Anything else stood out to you as far as these two?
I just I don't know why DK Dobbins isn't up there. Oh, that's right. It's like that boy gone. That boy gone.
Too soon.
Yeah.
Gone. No, go ahead.
No, get it.
Speaking
That's a good
about
transition.
Speaking about gone, Tyreek Hill was gone. No one could catch him.
That boy, no one gonna be that boy. He was gone.
Yeah, that boy gone.
God bless it, man.
Yeah, apparently
44.5.
Yeah, he
probably he single-handedly scored nearly as much as my whole team. Yeah,
he got over 2 bills and 2 touchdowns. I mean, he was taking one of my other leagues. We got Christian McCaffrey third because Justin Jefferson and Tyreek Hill were taken before, and we were excited because we were like, I can't believe Tyreek Hill went before Christian McCaffrey. And then halfway through that game, my fantasy partner in that league texted me, goes, "That's why." And I was like, okay, all right, fine. So, if this and that guy's here to stay, obviously, that might McDaniels, with Jalen Waddle, and them.
That's
And now granted they're not going to face the hapless Chargers defense, which you should with Bosa and Khalil Mack and I forget the safety for them, but you would think they'd be better, but apparently their secondary is just garbage. So that's probably why that is there. Moving on, Brandon Ayuk had him one heck of a day. For Steelers, 32.9. Yeah, I really like Brandon Ayuk. Probably most people have him on your bench just because he was like the third or fourth wide receiver that you took. So therefore,
he's not Debo.
No. So therefore, you're not going to start him, but he got all the touchdowns and he got a lot of other things. Obviously, if you have 32 points, Jacoby Meyer, now with the Las Vegas Raiders, former Patriot who decided to flip it to the lateral it to the Raiders last year. One of the biggest, funniest follies you'll ever see. But he had himself a day at 29.1. Guess what? Garoppolo likes Jacoby Meyer, so that's something to kind of look into. I'm not going to write that off just yet.
Now, at the same time, though, he did have a little bit of a questionable injury, concussion.
Did have a concussion.
So he's going to have to clear protocol, but apparently he may have a little bit of a history of concussion, so that could be something of that nature. And then I also would give any false information. That's accurate, but I will give you any more false information because he's on my watch list for sure.
Right. Coming up next is the world's our favorite gambler, Calvin Ridley at 26.6. I saw him in camp. I bought into him. I was like, he's going to be good. I wasn't able to snag him in any of my leagues, but this is exactly.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah,
this 5 leagues you weren't able to get him. Yeah,
5 leagues wasn't able to get Calvin Ridley. He is the truth, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's going to be sticking there in the top 10 as long as Trevor Lawrence and him still has so for your Christian Kirk owners,
right?
Pretty good red alert because he didn't do nothing. Which we'll get into of like how, why, who, when, where with the wild card stuff. Kendrick Bourne had himself a nice little day. Mac Jones' favorite target at 24.4 for the Patriots there. Had him a solid game. Really, other than those 2 mistakes with the Philadelphia Eagles getting up, the Patriots played a really good game. They probably could have won it if the guy didn't get 2 feet in bounds, which was odd for that. But yeah, Kendrick Bourne, have yourself a day. At right below him at 0.4 less is this guy named Justin Jefferson. Apparently, he's good at football. I don't know. He's a newcomer, I guess. By 24 points. Couldn't get in the end zone, but got a lot of yards, a lot of catches. And that's why that's why he was going 1-1 because he basically does this without getting in the end zone. So that's a sign of good things if you get that much volume. It's crazy. Some of these guys will drop. That's a lot of things with wide receivers. Even though it's a passing league, most of them, go off one week and then get 0.4 the next. Whereas you want the guys that are going to get their volume. And that's why Justin Jefferson is at 24 points, and it's still, you felt like it was underwhelming. I mean, that's just what he can do on a week-to-week basis. Right below him, Pity City. He had a real long touchdown, so got him up there in the 24.9. So that's interesting to see. I mean, he basically, you probably didn't start him, but if you have him on your team, you got great value out of him. That's for sure. You got him real late. I know Cortland Sutton did get in the end zone, which him and Pity City were basically the same. It was like you thought they were going to be good last year, and they were nothing. And then, coming into this year, we're like, just take a flyer on Pity or maybe even Cortland Sutton. The Denver Broncos offense is still miserable, even with Sean Payton. But it's going to be interesting to see with, the Colts going forward. If, this becomes a trend or is this just, a one-hit wonder? Pittman is the number 1 receiver, so. Coming in next at the ace spot is Puka Nuka. I think it's how you pronounce it.
Puka Nuka.
Is 21. It's basically Cooper Kupp light for the LA Rams at 21.9. Dude had himself a game. Every time I looked up him or Tutu Atwell, that's right. They if you want the team with the coolest names, rim receivers, look no further than the Rams. They got Puka and Tutu. Okay, I'll just put it that way.
You also got Tua in Miami.
Yep. But still, Puka and Tutu. That's just, I think that was funny. Someone called him like Puka Cup or like Poo Pooh
Oh,
Cup,
no.
or something like Pooh Cooper Cup Jr. or something like that. I don't know. That was a really cool pun that I
Yeah.
heard.
Apologies. I didn't notice we hit the character limit on our deal. My bad, guys.
And then we have Chris Olave, solid
Yep.
receiver. He had a little scare, but then came in, played the rest of the game at 19.2. And then this one guy named Amon-Ra St. Brown, he played against this one team. We're not going to talk about it. It was,
No.
it's in the past. What is the past? But we have to talk about the score, which is 19.1.
Yeah. No, it was in the pass.
Right. Exactly. Amon-Ra St. Brown at 19.1. Kind of look at it. We'll see what Kendrick Bourne does going forward. Mac Jones looks like he's back to being Mac Jones from his rookie year, which bodes well for if Kendrick Bourne is going to be consistent. I mean, they do have other receivers, but other than Devontae Parker, they got a couple of, and Ramondre really didn't. He was fighting an illness with a stomach bug, so we'll definitely see how that kind of pans out, how it finishes up. Jacoby Meyer, obviously, got that concussion, so hope well wishes to him and gets back. Even with take care of yourself on that. Puka, who knows? I mean, I can if your receivers are done. What?
Oh no! God dang it! 2.5 points. Oh, Diggs scored again.
Oh,
or not scored again, but got a big reception. Oh my gosh! I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. 10 seconds left. We may have to take a break and check this out.
Yeah, so we got 10 seconds left. You figured with them being up that the Jets defense was going to do well. Tyler Bass.
Yeah. Three interceptions by Allen, right? I mean, if not more.
Right.
But whenever we started the broadcast, that's where it was. But Stephon Diggs up to 26.2 points.
Yep, that put him over the 100-yard mark at 102 and 1.
Yeah.
So
wish I could have got a little bit more from Garrett Wilson, but I'm not going to blame them because the rest of the team shit the bed, y'all. Shit the bed. Lamar Jackson 7.56 points. Yeah. And luckily, I mean, I know this is kind of bleeding over into league scores, but luckily my opponent had 3.18 from Joe Burrow. As in Joe Burrow, your head in the ground.
Right. Is not going to work.
But, oh my gosh. Oh,
let's see if old Bass can come through, tie this game up and send it to free football, as the kids say these days.
All right, let's do it. I am all for Garrett Wilson and Stephon Diggs going to.
I thought Garrett Wilson caught that touchdown. It was Allen Lazard. My bad.
Oh my God! Right? Yeah. Well, and then even whenever one of the Moorhead or Whitehead, the Bills defender, he caught the interception.
Went in. It doinked in.
No,
it doinked in.
You're a little bit ahead of me. So.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. That's fine. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got overtime. Yeah. So while they go to commercial break, anything else from the top 10 receivers or?
I mean, I'm just going to interested to see what Puka does going forward since,
right?
Cooper Kupp's going to be on the IR. I mean, apparently Matthew Stafford's still good at throwing football. So it's going to be interesting to see if the Bengals wake up, because T. Higgins had
they will.
So it was a weird thing. So yeah, of these guys, it's like I'm interested to see if Puka can stay up there with him looking like he's the number one receiver with his targets. But other than that, congrats to Puka and Kendrick and Jacoby. Kendrick being probably the number one guy on the team and like the number one target probably will work out. Whereas Jacoby, I don't know. Especially with Devontae Adams on the team.
Exactly. I mean, there's quite a bit of other players to consider that either didn't get fed or maybe some were still coming back from a little bit of an injury or things of that nature. But I mean, to me, the notable mentions is definitely Dallas Cowboys defense.
Mm-hmm.
Good Lord, 40 points, brother.
Yeah,
y'all had yourself a day.
I'm not mad about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not
7 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery, 2 interceptions, and 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, your boys are in a full form. So congratulations to whoever drafted the Dallas Cowboy defense. You were definitely a winner this week. We'll see about the other weeks, but yeah. And then the other one, where was it at? Some kickers actually had themselves a pretty good day.
Nick Folk for the Tennessee Titans. I think he had like 4 or 5 field goals.
Yeah, what, 15 or 20 points? 19?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Someone
I
else.
thought there was another defense that scored quite a bit. Okay. But yeah, just even has 18.
San Francisco did really well. They pretty much just at one point the Steelers had no yards.
Oh, the Cardinals.
Oh, that's
somehow the Cardinals. I mean, playing the Washington Commanders.
Yeah.
6 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, fumble recovery, interception, and a touchdown. But yeah, surprisingly, the Jets. I mean, only 18 points as far as defense wise.
Huh.
Yeah, I mean, you would think with 3 interceptions, but it's the touchdowns. They didn't get any touchdowns off of those. 5 sacks, forced fumble, and fumble recovery.
I mean, the Saints had 3 interceptions. So I just noticed that because they're on my team. I didn't even, everything kind of blends in right now in week 1. Then it kind of does what it needs to do.
Yeah. Well, you know what else blends in week 1 is my alcoholic drinks, because I love fantasy football, man, but this stuff is so aggravating and nerve-wracking. But yeah, man, I mean, league scores, right? Let's jump into that.
Yeah.
League scores. Yeah, we'll get a theme song. Maybe, yeah, we'll figure it out.
So, starting off with this one team called the Soulful Hilltoppers. I really like them. And they went up against the Blackpool Combat Club. Right now, the games aren't over, but it looks they got a 99% chance of the Soulful Hilltoppers winning with 116 to their 73.
Ladies and gentlemen, 106.26 points. I win. I win. Oh, my
Just
God.
when he thought he was out, they pull him back in.
Suck it, Jason. Wow. All right. Go ahead.
So anyway, yeah. So Blackpool Combat Club or our own Gift Taylor is gonna have to go back to the drawing board because he has Aaron Rodgers, so that's probably not gonna work out for him. But yeah, I'm sitting there with that. So it looks good there. And that was with me leaving Cortland Sutton on my bench. So that's interesting to see there. And he left Jordan Addison on his bench, so thank you for that. But he does have Derek Carr, so obviously he'll be dropping Aaron Rodgers, picking up Derek Carr going forward. Next one is Super Bowl Sammy, whoever that is.
I mean, it looks like Lawrence Taylor.
I know, kind of. I'm not sure. And then
is it a high school photo? What is that?
And it's going against the Olave Garden.
Olave Garden.
Yeah, I like that.
Did they change their name, or was that?
Shane changed it to Olave Garden.
Okay.
That's a good one. With a 116 to 0.36 to 101.8, very close game. Let's see what really was the tie turner. Well, obviously Chris Olave, number 1, being there, but he also had Calvin Ridley, and he has the Buffalo defense. So that is
and then also having Cousins and Chubbs doesn't hurt at all either.
No.
But Antonio Brown, even though he wasn't top 10, 14.9 points.
Correct.
A little bit under par. But
and Super Bowl Sammy leaving Deshaun Watson on the bench, which is interesting. But, I mean, you got Jalen Hurts. You're going to start Jalen Hurts over Deshaun Watson. It's just what's going to happen. Going to the Reckless and Lights Camera Jackson. Lights Camera Jackson did okay this week.
Not too shabby, right?
Not too shabby. 96.3.
A very odd draft.
Yeah, very odd draft, but
we're not too bad of a week 1.
Not too bad of a week 1. At 156.04. Basically, whoever he drafted had a great week. So you don't do that for anything. Even with Kyle Pitts, he still scored 156 points.
Yeah.
So that'd be
well, and he has Kittle's tight end who kind of shat the bed. Sorry, he had 2 tight ends. Yes, my bad. But Yeah, I mean, had a couple of bums, but that's just how it always happens, right?
Yeah, that's
But
fantasy.
1, 2, 3 players in the 20s, and then the Dallas defense. I mean, come on now,
Yeah.
40 points. That's just cheat code right there.
Yeah. So I don't expect that to happen. As a Dallas fan, I wouldn't mind it, but I don't
Right?
expect that to happen going
Yeah.
forward. But they got a defense, that's for sure, for them. So going on to this next one, why don't you take us through this one?
Oh, Lord of mercy. Well, okay, so it's not next on my list.
Okay.
So the next one on mine is Soulful Hilltoppers and Blackpool.
Okay, so we already did that one. So just go ahead and do yours. And then
Well, I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, so
Gotcha.
we're not working
Yeah.
off the same list, bud. But we also got Team Saquon Barksdale and Team Shriners. And so going through there, Team Saquon Barksdale. I'm not sure what Barksdale really means. Maybe it's a legal term because that's our resident lawyer and former commissioner, DK Haygood. But 158.12 points over Team Shriners, 107.94. I mean, 107 points this week is still good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, that's, contested match definitely with me and Jason. But I mean, yeah, for, Team Saquon Barksdale, I mean, having Herbert, ETN, Tyreek Hill, Amon-Ra St. Brown, I mean, basically like half of the top 10 that we talked about, he has.
Yeah.
Doesn't hurt one bit. And if you didn't know from his draft, he actually is a Chargers fan.
Yes.
It's weird. Really
he
weird.
was mad that I got Keenan Allen over him, but long story short, I'm like, you can't have.
Right. He was so mad during the draft. It was like, come on, bud. Like, you're getting everybody else. Like, don't worry.
I'll let you I gave you Justin Herbert and Mike Williams. You had literally had all four. Yeah, Eckler and all that.
Oh, here we go. Long run.
Is that the game?
That is game.
That's the game.
Who was game, ladies and gentlemen? Gibson. Yeah, I think Aaron Gibson.
This is really good radio, but yeah, just bear with us. Michael Carter?
But no, so Gibson is a rookie.
Right.
That barely made it on the team. So they kind of built that up.
Xavier Gibson. Yeah. He was
on Xavier. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, Xavier Gibson. Out of
Aaron Gibson is a musician.
I think he was out of
what a finish on that.
Yeah.
So and the power goes out.
No, they were just doing that.
No, I know. Yeah, they're just turning lights out.
That's awesome. Well, good for the kid.
Yeah.
For that. And the Jets needed it because it was somber the whole game.
Yeah. So I mean, Hard Knocks. They highlighted him at the end, along with the other rookie wide receiver. Yeah. Great story. Even better. I mean, fairy tale ending right there for him. The team coming back, right, from like 13 to whatever. Deficit.
Okay.
Oh, that was a punt.
Yeah. So hats off to the Jets defense.
Well, special teams.
Right. Still.
But yeah. Oh yeah. But seriously, yeah. Jets defense, 3 interceptions, at least that we know of. But yeah. So Barkinsale, great match. I mean, for Team Shriners, I mean, Josh Allen, just a bad game.
Yeah.
He's definitely going to come back from this. I mean, he had 236 yards, 1 touchdown, but the 3 interceptions and a fumble. That's rough. That is rough. But I'm hoping that the Chiefs, falling flat. I hope that it just sticks in their craw, stays with them for the rest of the year, and is that chip on the shoulder that some people just need to really get at it. But yeah, I mean, Bruce Hall, good day. Justin Jefferson, but that's pretty much it. But he also had an empty spot at kicker. Right? I mean, it wouldn't have mattered because there wasn't a kicker that scored 50 points. But yeah, you still got to pay attention and draft a kicker, or pick him up off free agency. Yeah. There's plenty of decent kickers right there, and that's where you want to stream them. Oh my God, no. Okay,
they calling it back.
Wait, what? No. What happened?
They calling it back? Don't do this.
Well, here's the thing though, because I'm looking at my score now, and
No, it's fine.
Jason is at 112.
Oh, you're talking about that. Oh.
Who did he have?
The Jets. He had the Jets defense.
He has the defense and special teams.
Yeah, he has the Jets defense and special teams.
I hate fantasy football! God dang it!
Well, this does make good content. Glass half full.
No, it doesn't.
Ladies and gentlemen, my co-host is completely checked out. He just got what they call the bad beat. He thought he had it wrapped up, and then the extra football happened. So, yeah.
Now I really hate Gibson. Hate Gibson.
Yeah. So
good for you as an individual, but you as a fantasy player on the New York Jets defense, fuck you, sir. With all due respect. I said with all due respect.
Right. With all due respect. I said with all due respect.
God
damn. Who knew the Jets special teams would be the deciding factor?
Yeah. Not only in Monday Night Football, but also in my game. Yeah. So I had 106.26 points, and at that point, I was ahead of Jason's 106.08.
Yep.
And with that special teams touchdown, 6 points, got him just above. So thank you, Lamar Jackson, for your 7.56 points contribution. Thank you, Josh Jacobs, for your 9.10 points contribution. J.K. Dobbs, RIP. But thank you for your 11.7 that you did do within the first 2 quarters that you played. Stephon Diggs, thank you. Thank you for your service. 26.20. You gave us a glimmer of hope in a bleak and dark and disparaging world. Gary Wilson, if you were on defense, man, maybe that would help out. The 14.4, no, they did. Darren Waller, MIA, 6.6. Thank God we're in a points per reception league. Javonte Williams, remind me why I drafted you, bud. You wear orange. I don't like orange, but 9.7. Tyler Lockett apparently lost in the fog in Seattle. 3 points. Justin Tucker, my pride and joy, 5 points. Still not enough. The surprising hero, other than Stephon Diggs, that scored more than their expected amount. The Washington Commanders defense?
Commanders.
13 points? No,
Commanders.
Thank you for
so yeah.
Never mind. Sorry, I in our league chat, 11 minutes ago, I said, good game, Jason L. Not knowing he had the Jets defense.
Nah.
And then I just sent the reply, never mind.
Right.
Never mind.
That's fantasy football. That is fantasy football in a nutshell. Okay, so kind of moving on as he stews, I will go along with my little wild card thing that happened. There's a little trend.
That wasn't it? I thought that was it. I thought you were pulling that on me. No?
What?
I thought that was the wild card.
Oh, no. That ended up kind of a cool little wild card thing, but no.
Wait, there's more?
No. So basically, if a player got paid, he didn't play worth the crap this weekend. So Justin Herbert was fine, but he got outplayed by Tua. But he got a big contract, but he was getting sacked left and right. Lamar, Joe Burrow, we're still trying to find him. But now Joe Burrow played like crap. Lamar, it wasn't his best game, but he got schemed out of it because they got up, and so there was no reason for him to sling the ball around, and whatnot. There's just no point on that. And then, obviously, like the Dalvin Cooks of the world and stuff like that. If you got paid, if you got a big hefty contract, you didn't show up fantasy wise. T. Higgins is still being searched for. He's on a milk carton somewhere for that. But that's just kind of. But I think that's just a week to week type of thing. I don't see Lamar or Joe Burrow being. There's no reason to press the panic button. Okay. I was able to pull out a win in one of my leagues, and I had T. Higgins, and I started T. Higgins. So the fact that I could put up a goose egg and still pull it out barely is a good sign going forward. But yeah, if you're one of those owners of a player that was supposed to do something and they just didn't, unless they're like Cam Akers or somebody that we highlighted before, but they're the typical like high performers, not like years past or anything, but like the Joe Burrows, the Lamar Jacksons, Jamar Chases. T. Higgins of the world, and also all the tight ends are just like they just don't want to play. So like the Mark Andrewses, the Travis Kelce's, George Kittle was banged up, but he still played. Darren Waller was banged up, he still played. I respect Ramondre to have a really good bounce back season. As far as because he was fighting a stomach illness for that. So I don't week one, do not tilt. Do not tilt because of week one unless the player is hurt. Just still don't tilt.
Yeah, don't tilt because of that.
Yeah, that stings. Sorry, but yeah, that's just kind of what I saw as far as the trend of this weekend was if you got a hefty contract, you didn't get their money's worth for basically on that. But do not panic. Stay the course, and the winds will blow your direction.
Yeah, well, something blows today. But yeah, no, definitely. I mean, as much as we like to be facetious and just kind of incredulistic. Yeah, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. I read a dictionary earlier. No, but it's week one.
Yeah,
I mean, the Chiefs are still going to be the Chiefs. The league is definitely evening out for sure. And we love it. But with a league that's leveling out and evening out, this is what you're going to get. We're going to go back to where you got quite a bit of trade-offs within the divisions. You're not going to have 20-0 teams. Definitely not. Nick Wright. But you're definitely going to see the cream rise to the top, closer to the mid-season, going into that playoff run, because that's when everybody starts turning on the heat a little bit more. That's when they start opening up the playbook a bit more and getting ready for that playoff push that they know that they can get to. But yeah, it definitely was a rough, for me, for sure now, a very rough week one. But league wise, because other than the touchdown score tonight, only 59 touchdowns was scored on Sunday and Thursday. And, that's week one compared to last year. It was in the 70s, and the year before that, it was in the 80s. So as much as they, kind of changed the rules to make scoring easier because it's, more of a marketable game or, just sells tickets, not a lot of that happened. You had a lot of key injuries. But yeah, other than that, I'm not really too sure what's to blame for that. Do you have any idea, or do you have any speculation as far as why the low scoring? Is defense just on the rise?
Most of the time, when he comes out week one, the offense is still trying to, because you got to understand, like, this is the first time and most of the time, defense could just kind of pin their ears back. I'll allow the Dallas Cowboys just pin their ears back and just getting after it. But typically, you really don't have a lot more mistakes on the offensive side of the ball than you do on the defensive side of the ball, just because of schemes, and it's a lot more intricate when it comes to that. People still learn playbooks. It depends if it's a new coordinator, stuff like that, which is why I was kind of saying the same thing with Lamar and the Ravens. They got a new offensive coordinator and some new pieces as far as Zay Flowers, who he looks great. Even though he's on the top 10, but Zay Flowers looks really good. Like Odell, all that, and just running a new playbook and all that stuff. Just kind of feeling each other out. So that's why you see typically low scoring, other than the Chargers Dolphins game. But you really see the 20 to 10s and the I mean, heck, the freaking Saints game was just abysmal, really, as far as scoring wise. Even though Chris Olave got in the top 10, but that's just because he got his catches and yards. But really and truly, there wasn't very high scoring. I mean, the over-unders are typically 40, and a lot of unders were hitting this week, which I typically expect for that. So, yeah, just the scoring's going to go up. Just because once it takes them a couple weeks to finally, get everything and cross the T's, dot the I's as far as their offensive scheme is concerned. Like with Justin Fields and the Bears, I don't know what they were calling. I just didn't. On that, obviously, yes, the Packers do have a decent defense, but I just don't. But the Bears just look terrible. Them and the Steelers just looked god awful.
Yeah, Steelers. That was hard to even look at.
Yeah, yeah. So that's kind of what I see there. Anything else before we move into the ouchie? This sucks.
I mean, we already hit the injuries, really. So I mean, I don't think we necessarily need. And we may move that to the front, really.
Yeah.
Just because that's probably going to be the more prevalent news kind of going forward. But
Tyler Lockett did get dinged up, by the way. I forgot.
Yeah. What was that? I got notification. I didn't really read it.
I don't think he came back in the second half. Let me see. What did they say about Lockett? Real quick. This is good radio. That's what we do. All right. Lockett. Oh, concussion. So he was tested for a concussion after a hard hit in the third quarter. No worries there.
Yeah.
Carroll said, yeah, he's fine. He was examined, but he's fine. So for the Tyler Lockett owners out there, you're going to be fine. Just, keep his head on straight. You'll be good there. Other than that, obviously the major ones, we really don't know exactly. Nothing's been said about Aaron Rodgers, but it looks like he's done. J.K. Dobbins, poor dude. He can't catch a break. Who knows what's going to happen with him? We'll probably be on a different team next year because it was a contract year. Another thing to note is Justin Jefferson and the Vikings did not reach an agreement, which means that they will, and they said they will resume negotiations at the end of the season, which means Justin Jefferson's on a contract year, which means he's going to play his ass off typically. On that.
Build up his trade or build up his free agency value.
Yeah. Yep. So, but yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what I've got as far as, what to look forward to. And yeah, it's pretty much what I got so far. And good luck to you beautiful bastards out there for your coming weeks. Make sure you actually pay attention to the waiver wire. Don't tilt and just, say a little prayer for my co-host here because he's going through it.
Fucking Gibson. Take back all the nice things I said about you.
He's a nice kid.
He's a little punk right now.
Look, he didn't do it to spite you.
Oh, he knows. He knows. He's like, yeah, Tvshka, you there in rural Oklahoma. This is for you. Yeah. Right. No. Oh my God. Yeah. The heartbreak, the intrigue. That's what we live for. I'm just going to keep stress eating tonight. That's all I'm going to do.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to eat as soon as we get off here. But another thing, as far as I know we were kind of a little bit late. Going forward, we will be for everyone that wants to join us. We always go live at about let's say 9:30 Eastern. Correct?
That'd be the safe time.
Yeah. So 9:30 Eastern. We typically go live. That way you can see some reactions, and we did have good content, but bad situation that happened. But it ended up being pretty good content there for what just happened. But that's why we like to go live on Monday to where we can kind of sweat out the Monday night game. While also telling you all, what the things that were and the things that could be in the future. So feel free to tune in, give us some like, subscribe, the whole nine, ring the bell, all those things that the kids say because I'm trying to get used to saying that. Feel free to jump in, comment, ask us questions. If you want to jump in and ask Tvshka how he's doing, it's a good thing Jason wasn't on this call.
I know. That's what I was
we might have got demonetized after one episode.
But you can't get demonetized if you were never monetized.
Right. Well, still, Yeah, exactly.
And speaking of monetization, since YouTube doesn't do it, you can help us out. You can actually join the Ruckus at patreon.com/RuckusEV. You can also follow the Ruckus at everywhere, Ruckus EV. Really with that, I mean, we're gonna be doing some watch-alongs. We also got Trailer Park Trivia. We got the fantasy fuck around going on right now. But then we're also gonna be doing some reviews of sports movies, sports shows. We also got the Game Dudes, right? Gonna be adjusting some of the scheduling there. And then you got the Ruckus Wrestling. And you guys and Justin been doing a great job with that, and you and the Game Dudes. And so thank you for carrying the torch for everybody else. I'm gonna torch anything that has to do with the word Jason, the word Gibson, or the. I'm just gonna go and just point laser targets at anything that's a jet. Just because I'm very spiteful right now of that.
You barely lost because of the New York Jets.
God, the New York Jets.
Of all
freaking
New York Jets.
But a buzzer beater punt return for a touchdown.
It's the New York Jets.
Yeah. But yeah, for Josh, I'm Tvshka signing off, and also the Bills. Can't you do something right?